Say hi, Mom. When you dropped me off this morning, this like really mean kid almost bumped into me in the middle of the hallway. I didn't really like that. And then we went to lunch, and then we ate applesauce, and it had this really pretty fruit in it. I don't know what it was. And then we watched this video about this panda, and it sneezed, and then it had a baby. And the baby jumped up, it was like, ah! And then, can we get a panda?
I don't think that's a very good idea.
No. I'll take care of it, and then we can do it as it'll be my pet, like, because y'all want me a dog. So we get a panda, and I can name it Spot.
Yeah, but we don't even have any bamboo around here.
But they don't need to eat bamboo. Mom, remember that macaroni you made last night? They can eat that, and we can feed it. Yeah.
Okay. You don't need pandas don't eat mac and cheese.
Please, I really want a panda. It gets too big. We can get a baby. Because the one in the video had a baby, and we can go get that one out the video.
Babies grow.
No.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
The panda that you want.
Panda,
Well, listen. There's other stuff that we can do to help save pandas. Okay. You want to know a little bit more about that?
Yeah.
I have a friend named Steve. I can help you. Steve, why don't you come in here?
Hi, I heard you really like pandas. Well, there's this awesome organization called Pennies for Pandas where you can donate to and it'll help save and preserve them.
Oh, so will I still be able to have one?
No, you could donate to one and you can help save it and you can name it and you can keep track of it every day.
You can name it Spot. Oh, but it's not as good as having one just right in my room.
But you're still saving this piece.
Yeah, it'll be better for the panda and you if you just donate to it and help it stay in its environment and rather than you having it in your room.
If you really love pandas, this is the way to go.
Okay. Deal, Steve.
Yep.
As of October 21st, 2015, that video has accumulated 218 million views. The video was uploaded in November of 2006. The importance of this video is to inform the viewers that we will be talking about giant pandas. Even though the video is comical, it brings to our attention that there is a giant panda mother and baby in a cage isolated. Giant pandas are highly endangered and shouldn't be in a cage like that. They should be in the wild. We need to take responsibility for the planet that we share and help out the giant panda. Steve had prior knowledge about the panda organization and has donated to the cause in the past. The giant panda population has only been declining, and it is in the hands of our generation to help save what's left of wild-born and captive pandas. In this presentation, we will be talking about two essential perspectives, the children and adults. The children want a panda for the right reasons and explain how they are endangered, but the parents explain better ways to save or help captive and wild giant pandas, thus introducing the organization Pennies for Pandas.
Giant pandas are endangered. The giant panda's current population is approximately 1,864, but they are on the rise because they are being preserved. They only eat bamboo and can eat up to 25 to 40 pounds of bamboo each day. They eat this much because their body does not store fat. Therefore, they eat bamboo for more than half their day with an average of 14 hours. The average adult panda weighs at 165 to 353 pounds. In captivity, there are approximately 300 in reserves, zoos, and wildlife parks. In the U.S., only 4 zoos have pandas. These zoos are located at San Diego, Memphis, Atlanta, and Washington, D.C. They are not only held in captivity in the U.S., but also in Canada, Japan, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Thailand, Taiwan, Mexico, France, Spain, Austria, Belgium, and Australia.
The people of China look to the giant panda as a national treasure, and even sent the U.S. a giant panda as a gift during Nixon's term. They sent them a panda because Nixon's wife had an infatuation with pandas. The panda was donated to the National Zoo in Washington, D.C. The giant panda's habitat is found in southwestern China. In China, during the Han Dynasty, the pandas were in the emperor's gardens and seen as having mystical powers. This made the pandas highly praised among the Chinese. It is difficult to tell giant pandas from others because they are generally the same in their appearance. Giant pandas have giant black patches around their eyes, black ears, a white head, and a white patch in their stomach. Caretakers have identified giant pandas by distinguishing the small differences in markings around their mouth or muzzle. Their fur is dense and oily in order to keep them warm.
With so many irresistible new cubs, Wolong has become a tourist attraction. And more success has followed. In the year 2000, Wolong broke even its record with 11 new cubs. China's breeding program is finally going strong. Wolong's success gives us a certain optimism about the future of giant pandas. But with this comes another problem. What will we do with this surplus of captive cubs? Their natural habitat is vanishing. China's human population puts enormous demands on the land. Farming and logging are clearing the forests where pandas once lived. Pandas are pushed higher and higher up the mountains into the toughest terrain where there's less to eat. To combat this problem, the Chinese government has set aside 32 reserves for the giant panda. But the reserves are spread far apart and fragmented.
The panda population is actually split into all these little small islands of populations, and there's no exchange of individuals between these areas. One of the applications of our scent research might be to take these scents and put them in habitat corridors that we put between these islands. And this may indeed encourage the pandas to come down out of one island, traverse through the corridor, and up to another island. And this will get genetic exchange and reduce the problems of inbreeding in these small populations.
But panda fieldwork is still tackling the basics. Researcher Matt Durnan joins Chinese colleagues here at 9,000 feet to study pandas in the wild. Matt is trying to find out just how many pandas are left and where they are.
对不起，麻烦你现在回来，我要去那个 perpendicular.
It's thought that less than 1,000 remain, but no one really knows.
I've been in the field 3 years and I've only seen one panda in the wild, which is obviously very frustrating.
20 years ago, researchers relied on live animal traps, like this one. The pandas were radio collared and released. Today, new technology gives us a way to study pandas without actually ever seeing them. This high-tech method uses a simple barbed wire. The wire plucks hairs off the animals as they walk underneath. Through advanced DNA analysis, these collected hairs can tell us not only how many pandas there are in this area, but their sex, age, and who's related to whom. Matt is also finding that pandas need more than bamboo.
We've learned from previous work that in the Wuipeng study area, if you simply took bamboo, there should be more pandas up there. So the question is, what may be limiting the size of that population?
It's possible that there are too few den sites. It seems female pandas choose larger trees for their dens, but logging has taken the biggest and the best of them.
If there are, in fact, too few large trees, and it does turn out that they prefer to use large trees, we may, for example, want to introduce artificial den sites to try to help the female pandas reproduce better and rear their offspring.
2700.
Matt is mapping panda territories. With an increasing captive population, there's a growing hope for reintroduction.
The information we know about behaviors that we've learned from captivity and the information we're gaining from our work in the field are going to be critical to the success of any future reintroduction. We don't, for example, want to put a male into an area that's already saturated with males. That animal may lose out. It's coming from captivity, and we do know that when they come together in the mating season, there is some aggression.
What we learn about giant pandas in the wild will make a big difference in how we care for them in captivity. And more importantly, we may one day know enough to be able to return them to the bamboo mountains where they belong.
Pennies for Pandas is an organization that tries to preserve the giant panda. The main focus of the group is to get kids and children alike to donate to help save the giant panda. Pennies for Pandas is a starter organization for kids. It allows them to get a taste of what it is like to donate to a cause bigger than themselves. When donating, kids and parents will be able to talk about a greater issue like environmental struggles and reasonability of living on a shared planet. When people donate to this organization, they are helping giant pandas get the necessities they need to live a good and healthy life, such as panda adoptions, formula for baby pandas, and replanting bamboo trees. In 1984, China put the giant panda under protection laws because it had become endangered. The Standing Committee National Parks People Congress passed an amendment saying, smugglers of giant pandas shall have a punishment of at least a 10-year sentence and confiscation of property under grave circumstances. Life sentence or even death sentence together with the total confiscation of property shall be applied.
We're here in China searching for wild giant pandas. That's right, wild pandas. You may have seen pandas in zoos. They're one of the most popular animals in captivity. But have you ever seen pandas living where they really live? They live here above 5,000 feet in the remote mountain forests of central China. Giant pandas are solitary creatures. Many times the only reason they know that other pandas are around is because of the scent marks they leave. Pandas rub their scent glands on the bamboo trees, and then other pandas sniff the trees to find out who's around and if the other party is interested in mating. Pandas eat bamboo, lots of bamboo, up to 40 pounds a day. This panda looks like he's chewing down a pool cue. Oddly enough, certain times of the year they eat the leaves. Other times they eat the stalks. Your average 275-pound panda spends up to 14 hours a day eating. The rest of its time? Sleeping. Okay, we've saved the best for last. Shots of the reclusive giant panda are rare, but the rarest of the rare are these shots. A mother in her den cradling her newborn panda baby. The mother probably won't leave this den or eat for 25 days while she takes care of this helpless young one. Want to hear what a baby panda sounds like? In a year, the cub will become semi-independent, but it will stick around mom for up to 18 months. Giant pandas are one of the rarest animals in the world. Even though more than 600 were recently discovered, there are only about 1,600 total in the wild. In a way, they're too cute for their own good. So we keep putting them into zoos to protect them from poachers, as well as from habitat destruction. But now, greater efforts are being made to see that wild pandas are able to live and thrive in their Chinese mountain homes.
Donate to Pennies for Pandas will allow you to name a panda and track a panda in the wild in China. You can donate at pandasinternational.org. Your donation will get pandas bamboo and keep them safe from hunters. Your donation can also help save and preserve the giant panda. You can donate as much as you want. Any amount of donation will make a difference to the giant pandas. If you can't donate because you are short on money, you can always help out the organization by telling all your friends about Pennies for Pandas. Thank you all for listening. With your assistance, we can help save the giant pandas. It is our responsibility to help the species we share this planet with.